So when I was fired the last time from this show,
Wait,
people say to me, were you okay with that? And my answer is, I was happy.
Joy Behar's life has taken a turn that no one saw coming. Once a fierce and familiar face on daytime television,
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
she's now at the center of a controversy so explosive it threatens to destroy everything she's built.
Democrats in the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary, Karoline Leavitt.
A single offhand remark about newly appointed White House press secretary Karoline Leavitt created a media firestorm, and what followed was even more shocking than anyone imagined.
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job?
Karoline Leavitt, she's just 27 years old. But boy, was she giving it to the Trump haters in her first White House brief.
How did a proud television icon fall so far, so fast? Stay right here, because this story only gets more unbelievable with each new twist. For years, Joy Behar was a household name. Known for her outspoken views on The View, she carved out a reputation as one of the most fiery commentators on daytime TV. She never hesitated to challenge guests, panelists, or politicians, often courting controversy with her signature bluntness. Yet for all that brash confidence, she also championed women's rights, equality, and empowerment, values that catapulted her to a position of influence. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt seemed to appear out of nowhere. At just 27, she landed the coveted role of White House press secretary under the Trump administration.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
Quickly earning a reputation for concise, confident messaging. Some dismissed her as too young, but she steadily proved doubters wrong by holding her own against seasoned political figures. At first glance, these two women existed in totally different worlds, yet their paths collided in a way nobody expected when Joy Behar made a remark that would spark a tidal wave of backlash. Whether fueled by frustration, jealousy, or something deeper, that single comment threatened everything Joy stood for and everything she hoped to protect. It happened on a typical morning. Joy, surrounded by her co-hosts, launched into a heated discussion about Karoline Leavitt's sudden White House appointment. In a moment that would haunt her forever, Joy casually implied that Karoline had been chosen not for her skills, but for her appearance. She sneered that Donald Trump likely found Karoline to be a perfect 10, implying her looks secured the job more than her abilities. The backlash was instantaneous. Social media lit up with fury, condemning Joy's words as blatant hypocrisy. Here was a woman who spent her career advocating for female empowerment, but seemed to discredit a younger woman's accomplishments simply because she was attractive. Viewers across political lines found themselves surprisingly united, calling Joy's comment the most reckless in her entire career. And things were just getting started. It didn't take long before major headlines and primetime news segments seized the story. Journalists dissected Joy's statements, debating whether she'd finally gone too far. Anchors replayed the controversial footage, demanding to know why an advocate for women's progress would stoop to such a snarky dismissal of another woman's success. Advertisers, watching the fiasco unfold, were not amused. Several big-name sponsors pulled their funding from The View, wanting no association with what some were calling the biggest daytime scandal of the year. ABC executives felt the heat almost immediately, flooded by outraged phone calls and emails. Petitions demanding Joy's removal began circulating online, accumulating thousands upon thousands of signatures in just a few days. With her credibility in free fall, Joy tried to justify her words as a joke gone wrong, but that only made matters worse. Critics saw it as a half-hearted excuse for crossing a line nobody wanted to see crossed. Demands for accountability skyrocketed, and as Joy's defenders grew quieter, her detractors grew louder, leaving her more isolated than she'd ever been. If Joy expected Karoline Leavitt to stay silent, she was sorely mistaken. Karoline refused to offer a mere soundbite of disapproval. Instead, she fought back in a massive way. She filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit, citing Joy's remark as malicious and damaging to her professional reputation. Legal experts were blown away by the sheer size of the claim. Many speculated it could become one of the most high-profile defamation cases in the history of daytime television. If Karoline won, Joy would face not only financial disaster but also public humiliation on a scale she'd never experienced. Within ABC's offices, chaos reigned. Executives scrambled to control the narrative, unsure whether to stand behind their embattled co-host or cut ties to salvage the network's reputation. Emergency meetings were held late into the night, with high-ranking officials weighing their options. Keep Joy on and risk alienating viewers and sponsors? Or let her go and risk alienating fans who'd been loyal to her for years? Neither path looked promising. As the legal battle intensified, Joy's mental state reportedly deteriorated. Sources close to her claimed she was consumed by dread, convinced that the lawsuit would strip her of everything she owned and destroy whatever remained of her public image. Rumors swirled that she felt betrayed not only by ABC, but by viewers who once cheered her on. In a move nobody saw coming, Joy allegedly made a desperate bid to escape the growing storm. Reports suggest she purchased a one-way plane ticket to Italy, her ancestral homeland, hoping to vanish abroad before the legal machinery could fully catch up to her. It seemed like a last-ditch effort to evade the consequences that loomed over her head, but it didn't work. Alerted to her plans, authorities intervened at the airport. Stunned travelers watched as Joy was approached by TSA and law enforcement agents, who promptly took her into custody. Videos of her being escorted away in handcuffs began surfacing online within hours, sending shockwaves through the media. Suddenly, this wasn't just another celebrity scandal. It was a full-blown meltdown of a daytime TV titan. The atmosphere at ABC turned even more chaotic. Only hours after Joy's arrest, the network issued a public statement distancing itself from her actions. The statement confirmed that Joy Behar was no longer affiliated with ABC, effectively ending one of the most recognizable runs in daytime talk show history. The swift decision left fans, critics, and industry insiders reeling. Backstage at The View, producers scrambled to figure out their next steps. Joy Behar was not just a co-host. She was a defining presence, a loud and spirited voice that had helped shape the show's identity from the beginning. Without her, the entire dynamic felt off balance. Could they find a replacement compelling enough to fill the void? And more importantly, would audiences return to a show steeped in one of the biggest controversies daytime TV had ever seen? Debates erupted across the entertainment world. Some felt Joy was a victim of cancel culture gone too far, while others argued that she'd simply faced the logical consequences of her own inflammatory remark. The lawsuit raged on, overshadowed now by Joy's attempted flight from justice. Even the show's loyal viewers seemed conflicted about whether to keep watching without the polarizing, larger-than-life personality who had anchored so many debates. With Joy Behar off the air and facing a defamation suit that could reach unprecedented sums, the question remains, is this truly the end of her legacy, or will she find a way to stage a comeback against all odds? The courts will decide whether Karoline Leavitt's claim holds weight, but the real cost to Joy's reputation may be irreversible. She stands on the brink of losing not only her financial security, but also the trust of viewers who once championed her outspokenness. As for Karoline, the spotlight has never been brighter. Her lawsuit thrust her into living rooms across the nation, and many see her move as a bold statement against hypocrisy in the media. Others speculate Joy may launch a furious counterattack if she manages to regroup with new legal counsel, possibly turning this into one of the biggest showdowns daytime TV has ever witnessed. Even so, there's no denying that Joy Behar's downfall serves as a stark reminder. In the age of unrelenting social media scrutiny, a single careless moment can trigger consequences no one can outrun. So will Joy Behar manage to reclaim her place in the public eye, or has this scandal sealed her fate for good? Stay tuned, because if there's one thing this saga has taught us, it's that everything can change in the blink of an eye. The next chapter in this controversy is still unwritten, and knowing Joy, it's bound to be another wild ride.